All good animes have to start somewhere. Yo, what's happening, Chief? It's your boy D-Dub Man, a ReviewYaLife, here back with another live-action Disney sitcom. In hindsight, I probably should have done these in order, but I digress. So let's give it up for That's So Raven, everyone.
That's me.
Of course that's you. You said your name throughout the damn... Now to start things off here, let's familiarize ourselves with Raven Symone, which shouldn't be too hard because every generation should know her by now. Elders and adults know her from The View and The Cosby Show. Young adults know her from That's So Raven. Teens and kids know her from Raven's Home. She's not much of a public figure, but she does have a title of, oh yeah, I know her. Anyway, her career leading up to her Disney series was quite the adventurous one, due to her can-do sassy attitude. She's received a majority of roles during the entire 90s period, becoming a very talented young black girl, mainly from her first breakthrough role, The Cosby Show. After that, she became busy as fuck through the 90s, releasing albums, hanging with Mr. Cooper, Dr. Dolittle, hell, even Space Ghost.
Purple, Nurple, Jerry, Belly, oh yeah! You still with me?
And then she walked into Disney territory, where her life would soon change forever, with her first role being in the TV movie Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, in 1999, for Zoo Disney, before it became Disney Channel. And due to her very tween, black, cocky voice, she went on to work a minor role in The Proud Family and a major role in Kim Possible, which leads us to the show that we're reviewing today. That's So Raven made its debut on Disney Channel in January 17, 2003, becoming the third sitcom of the 2000s, along with Even Stevens and Lizzie McGuire. And it was created by two white people with no unique background. This is a very common case for Disney Channel sitcoms, by the way. I like to always assume that they tell random people during board meetings to direct their show. The gimmick for the show was just supposed to be a teen who happened to be psychic, so they went with a terrible temporary show name until they recruited their whole cast. And it was some corny stuff like The Future Is On Me and Absolutely Psychic. And around that time, it wouldn't be at all surprising if one of those names were to be the final product, if it weren't for the following. So several auditioned for roles and few were called back, and more than likely those who were called back were already under Disney's radar. But anybody could have made it in though. Hell, you could look like this guy, as long as he had talent. And that's when Raven comes in. Originally auditioning for the role of Chelsea, she made the producer's jaws drop, and they ended up just making her the main character role and based the entire show off of her. And thus, That's So Raven began filming in late 2001. They filmed the pilot in April of that year for a live studio audience focus team, and it eventually became episode 7 of the series. So, with all that flim-flam out the way, let's jump right into the show itself. Well, first we have Raven Baxter, who's kinda just playing herself. Cory Baxter, the younger brother of Raven and the hustler of the family. Tanya, the hip cool mom who's strict where it counts. And Victor, the dad, chef, and the owner of his own restaurant, the Chill Grill. And let's not forget about her two best friends, Chelsea, the blonde, and Eddie, that nigga, played by Orlando Brown. This Orlando Brown.
Answer him!
Not this one.
She gave me, and then I gave her some.
And the whole show is revolved around this vision-having girl and her trying to, or not trying to, make those visions happen. And honestly, for its time, this was Disney Channel's most innovative sitcom to date. I mean, there was stuff like Lizzie McGuire, a show about an angsty teen, Even Stevens, a show about a dysfunctional family, Zach and Cody, a show about boys living in a hotel. You see, this show had a gimmick, and that gimmick was zooming into this woman's eyes. What an awesome effect, might I add, and seeing the damn future, bruh. However, this wasn't until my boy Phil of the Future came in to change the game and made every other Disney show look like shit. And don't even get me started on Wizards of Waverly Place. Those niggas got a movie. I'm gonna list Hannah Montana and Cory in the House in the same category as Zach and Cody though, cause it's just a normal sitcom with wacky situations. I'm sure you guys want me to mention other shows that came after these, like Andy Mack, a show where the main character's sister was her mom the entire time. I don't fucking. But then I'll be on a tangent, and that's not what this video is about. But speaking of tangents, let me just clear the air with this rant I have. That's So Raven fucked up the black youth of my generation. If you guys haven't noticed, ebony teens and young adults have become more loud and obnoxious over the years, right? Sure, you could blame social media, cell phones, and music, but never have I once fathomed this culprit lurking in the mist. That's so Ratchet.
Just ask Chelsea what's going on.
Just ask her? It's like you don't know me at all.
And if you accept these things, you're going to be giving him the wrong message.
Well, what about if I give him back the feather and the shell and I keep the dress? Mr. Petrocelli, when my hand is up, I know the answer. And when my hand is down, I don't know the answer. Let me explain it again. Hand up, no, hand down, don't. I'm just saying. No, it's horrible the way they just open up like that. Oh, girl, look, the new Mary J. Blige CD. Oh, I gotta borrow this one. Today's the day, people. It is protest day. Let's stand up and be counted. One.
Oh, man, this is my favorite Maisha song ever. You know, girl, there's only one problem with it.
Man, bad timing. I was gonna ask Dad for the money to go to the Ultra Jam concert. I wonder if he knows I'm not listening.
I better just nod my head.
Raven, my professor is coming by to pick up an assignment. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Eddie? Edward? Oh my goodness, is that you? Oh, excuse me, that is my friend. Excuse me. Watch your tootsies coming through. Okay.
It probably wasn't intentional, but I think a lot of these annoyances adapted from this show. I can confirm for sure because I have a sister who grew up watching it and she turned up just as bad. These girls forget that she's a damn character who also learned stuff in the show, but they always remember her quirks and screams, which piqued their interest. I'm not saying little girls shouldn't watch the show, however, I'm not saying that little girls shouldn't watch the show either. I don't know really, it's just a thought. Anywho, That's So Raven as the show is pretty entertaining. Hell, it sure had to been considering it went over the 65 episode rule Disney Channel had capped at the time. But I meant all the stuff that was in the show, like the music, like Pressure, the parody of Usher.
Gotta get you back. I gotta see this through. Gotta get you back. It's the last thing I do. My friends say
Cory and the Boys.
Can you feel it? Can you feel the love? Nothing feels better than feeling the love. Everybody knows that when push comes to shove, nothing feels better than feeling the love.
The Boys in Motion.
boys, we are the boys in motion. We give you our devotion. Boys, we are the boys in motion. We give you our devotion. Boys, we are the boys in motion. We give you our devotion. Boys, we are the boys in motion. We give you our devotion.
And that weird African song that played all the time. Along with the morals they shared, like divorce, cigarettes, racism, and fat shaming. And let's not forget about the memorable characters like Mr. Lawler.
People, please. Settle, please.
The Juicer. Bobby Says.
This is Stanley.
And I'm not cute. I'm fine.
Did I like That's So Raven? Yes. Did I want people to know I like That's So Raven? Nope. This was a show that I literally had to watch in secret if I wasn't already watching it with my sister. Because again, at the time, I always thought that Disney was a girls' channel until Zach and Cody came along.
Hey yo, it's your favorite bear here.
Bear, this one's for me. Oh. Hi. Name's Jenny. And let me tell you, this girl, this boy, this girl, this MILF, every single cast has impacted me in a positive way whenever I was young. And now looking back at it, it still holds. I have learned so much from this show as I was growing up. To have a real connection and understand that life is sometimes out of control for one person to handle is simply unpredictable. Now, me having a weird fetish of supernatural, creepy, and psychic things, I think the show sparked my interest in learning more about this seeing into the future thing. What can I say? Yes, I know there's more shows out there like Sabrina the Teenage Witch or...
Should you watch That's So Raven? Yes, you should. Believe it or not, this show paved the way for a lot of wacky sitcoms we see on Disney throughout the years. It's actually very comparable to a female version of Martin in a way, due to the catchphrases and the excuses to get into costumes. Should this show be rebooted? Well, it's too late to answer this one before they're already a season into their new series, Raven's Home, which apparently happens a decade after the original series, and it involves Raven and Chelsea post-divorce raising kids in the same house, while one of them has visions as well, and no one else pops up from the first show besides Devon. And the show is very meh. That's all I can say. I'm truthfully not interested in the series until Eddie shows up somehow, because that nigga be wildin'. That's So Raven ended in November 10, 2007. It could have ended a lot sooner, but it took a while for the cigarette episode to get a thumbs up from Disney. Season 4 was directed by Raven herself, and Tanya, the mom character, couldn't be involved this time due to her taking care of her ill mother. This was also the season of the crossover episode. And after that show was said and done in the books, Cory in the House was born, which is another video for another time. And trust me, y'all gonna love that shit. All in all, Raven Symone has been through it all to reach the stable point in her career as an actress. Child star, teenage star, cheetah girl, and last but not least, a human that loves humans. Oh fuck, she's lesbian? Or maybe bi? Oh come on, please be bi. This is one of my top childhood crushes we're talking about. Follow me on Twitter. I just had a vision showing you subscribing. Oh, and shouts out to Mr. Nostalgia for the I would unbleep that, however I don't want Disney to have the legal audio of me saying it. I was gonna tell y'all to subscribe to his channel, but this nigga doesn't even know what he's gonna post half the time. And look forward to the next major review, The Boondocks. This has been DW in a Review Your Life, and this video is sponsored by Channel Frederator and partnered by Dusty Cartridge. See ya!